Hello everybody, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. I put a bit of a story up last week on the Metalwork forum about wanting to swap the spiral grinding attachment for a Clarkson drill and tap grinding attachment, and I was asked for photos of the item, so I thought I'd come in and give a bit of a description and then zoom in for a closer look. It's an ingenious bit of apparatus. The cutting tool goes between the tailstock and the front centre. There's an indexing attachment for on the back of it, a whole series of indexing plates, and this particular piece of item is a rack with bellows and a spigot that engages in the end of the cross shaft, and you'll get a much closer look later on. That is set up with the sign bar after mounting with this piece to the Clarkson tool and cutter grinder. We'll have a look in there later on. And a set of gauge blocks is used to change the angle of the sign bar, and as the sign bar moves, this of course changes position relative to the angle and moves the rack across, and the rack turns the centre and the centre turns the tool between centres. So very complex item. It's brand new, never been used as far as I can see, and I have the operating manual and the handbook. So if you want to do big spiral flute taps, large cutters or sharpen the same, this is the item for you, but frankly that's not where I'm targeting my market. I'm more into tap grinding, so I would like to swap for a drill and tap attachment to suit the Clarkson. Bit of a score this week. A pair of 1.5 inch BSPP taps, one intermediate, one bottoming. Got them for a very good price. They have been stored somewhere, especially the bottoming tap, where there was a lot of rust in the area, and I thought it was lost as a bit of corrosion in the flutes, but luckily it doesn't go as far out as the cutting edge, so it looks like the cutting edge was supported by the cutting compound from the last operation and kept it fresh. I don't think I'll even put them on the grinder. They're in very good condition, and they're the correct taps for the steam current on the small Briggs boilers that I'm putting out as a kit, so they'll be a very good win. Okay, enough looking at me. I'll change the camera position and come down on the item. Back again, and we'll zoom in a little bit. This is a said spiral flute grinding attachment, or they call it a controlled spiral grinding attachment. It's what they would have used in the Clarkson factory to grind the cutters. Well, there's a pair of taps. Very happy with it. The intermediate's in extremely good condition. Okay, come back to Clarkson attachment. Now I'll see if I can get it to move. There we go. I'm working it back to front now, but this rack, moving backwards and forwards, rotates the axle inside there, and the amount that that bellows moves is controlled by the angle that this sign bar is set up at. I'll zoom in again from this angle and you can see the base attachment and also all the indexing plates. I'd say we've got the full kit. It's a really well made piece of tool and cutter grinder equipment. Okay, this is the base that mounts on the Clarkson grinder. There's two clamping bolts here, and that arm can swivel on the base. And we'll zoom in a little. Inside there is the clamping bolt and the slot that allows that arm to tilt around. The steady centre is an extremely well made item. This is really good Pommy made machinery at its best. Okay, we'll go around the other side. Right, here we are back again. And it's typical of items designed back in the 50s and 60s. You can change the position of the indexing head relative to the shaft with the fine adjusting screws there. That's to set your angle up perfectly. That is the spigot with the grub screw to lock it. That goes, the hole that goes over the spigot, so that as that moves, it moves the cross arm there. Really well made. And down here, this goes on the rear of the shaft, and that's your latch couple of handles. That's for rotating the cutter around the back plate there to get your number of flutes, and that indexing plate is what you change out for the number of flutes. So it would take a little bit of getting used to, but I can't see it being something you couldn't get over reasonably well. What these are for, I do not know. I think it might be for driving larger cutters by the shank. But there's a set of those in the kit as well. Beautiful condition. I don't think it's ever been on the machine. So I'd like to swap that for a Clarkson drill and tap grinding attachment, in good condition of course. Now we'll swing around to the actual tool and cutter grinder. And just under the cut-off wheel, you can see the mounting plate on the base behind the table where the frame of this bolts up. I don't want to break it all down and set it up for a demonstration. That's for people who are seriously interested in a swap. But that's what I'm passing on, not the grinder, just this attachment. The grinder's too handy to get rid of. Anyone interested, just send me a message. Bye for now. Please like and subscribe.